Austin Show.
It doesn't get old for me.
I love it every time.
It just flat out doesn't get old for me.
That's a good tune.
Episode 83, guys. I mean, we're doing live shows all the time now. There is a lot of happening. We just had a bunch of compliments from the live bands that we did downstairs. They're loving the venue. Did you hear them? Yeah. They were down there singing the praise of the venue. Frost was down there like, I love this place. He's like, this could be a home away for home for artists. It was.
That's what I'm aiming for. That's what we're going for.
Well, it really warmed my heart because I know that's your dream. Yeah. Is like a happening place that we can have games for kids. We have this going on. We have that going on, and it's really nice when that's coming. That's starting to really.
The funny thing is that I can provide that. I can make all that shit happen. And none of it pays the bills.
None of this community outreach is getting any of us rich. But so as we are trying to pay a few bills, as we segue into that, get with PK Pest Management for all your pest control needs. We got if you mention the podcast on your first visit, I'll give you $20 off on that first visit. Get with Slowco Studios on. We're making EPKs for people. We're filming live shows downstairs. Yep. We're trying to produce podcasts. We're working on maybe a news show, some cooking shows. Like we're trying to do a lot here.
There's a promotional void in the city, and we're trying to fill it.
And we're trying to have a lot of fun with it too. We're trying to do all these things the fun way, not the gatekeeper way, not the corporate way, the fun way. Yeah. So get with us if you're trying to do that. Sacred Leaf, always give them a shout out if you ever need anything. Your CBD needs, your Delta 8 needs, your glass and apparel needs. Sacred Leaf is really great to us and great to helping out Aaron's family. So we always want to give them a shout out. Yeah. Wichita by EB, if you need anything going on.
He just started a podcast.
And he started a podcast.
Check his shit out.
He listens to our podcast.
Big supporter.
I don't know if he's released any of them yet, but I have not listened to him yet. But I can't wait to hear him. But I don't think he's released any of them yet. I think he's just been working on them. And so that leads us to our newest member to our sponsorship team is JEllis Kitchen.
Taco Monday.
He's trying to take over Taco Tuesday. He's trying to take over Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday's established. He's the pregame.
Yeah, he's
on Monday when you want to
So he's running the pop-up kitchen in Shamrock almost every Monday. He does a lot of stuff, but his fried tacos are some of the best I've ever had.
Fried tacos, pineapple salsa.
He has a pico de gallo, pineapple pico de gallo. That's what it is. Yeah,
dude, the perfect.
And he's kind of like
pineapple pico.
Yeah, so get with JEllis Kitchen on those.
Edgy taco.
They're really good. He's got a street version of it too, as well as far
fruity taco.
And I'm not usually a pico de gallo or a pineapple fan. But I tell you what, he
made it work, man.
He gave those, and I eat them every time I'm over there now.
Yeah, he was on the show, made us a bunch of them. It was awesome.
So and he does a couple other things. There's always a lot of stuff going on at that kitchen that pops up over there. So make sure you get with Munchapotamus and all the bitchin' kitchen stuff that goes on with there. You got Jill Polly does her stuff over there. You got Jenna does her stuff over there. Aaron does her stuff over there. So make sure you get with everything that's going on over there. That's always a cool stuff. So and then we're making our push. We're getting close. We're at November. I want to get to this 600 by the first of the year. We're at like 570, I think, is where we're at subscriber wise. We need 30 fucking more. Well, he just subscribed for us. He just subscribed for us. So
thank you.
And we should probably force every guest to subscribe. We probably royally fucked up there. Oh. So Epiphany, my head just went.
We just lost that, didn't we?
I want to see your phone. Subscribe now.
Yeah, I should make every guest
subscribe. If you want
subscribe.
us to hit record.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not starting this podcast as you subscribe, even if you unsubscribe later. Right. But anyway, so I'm an idiot. So, but shout out to everything that's the Aaron and Austin show. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and we're also, of course, on YouTube. We go to YouTube first, and then get with everything. Facebook's probably our second best thing, and then we're on TikTok now. You can that actually links to our YouTube page, so you can find everything there. You can find all our reels. So let's cut to a graphic, and also if you want your graphic in this spot, remember advertising for us. If you've got a show coming up, is only $5 a show.
It's dirt cheap. Just do it.
If you want to throw your flyer up in this spot coming up, and you want us to talk about the show, we'll give you a quick promo and lead you into a graphic, and then we'll also pin that to the top of the page and the Facebook page so everybody can know when that show's coming up. So thank you, John, and roll us to the graphic, and let's get to this Hardwood Cherry episode. Let's go.
Yeah, if you guys want your space in there, if you want your flyer in there, your ad in there, hit us up.
Yeah, and if you want to learn how to make a fucking flyer, look at our live episode we just did.
She was good.
Yeah, dude, she made like 2 really cool flyers.
And she was super fun on the podcast. Like,
I didn't know. She's the lead singer of. Wow.
We suck at this.
I can't remember.
No, we're good.
Here we go.
The Tale Untold.
The Tale Untold sticker on the water bottle. There you go.
Tale Untold, save it. So make stickers and merch. Maybe that's that was a hell of a,
that's a lesson right there.
Hell of a lesson there.
Yeah.
I don't remember if she told us her name, but she's the lead singer of The Tale Untold, and she was on her shit as far as like.
Super fun.
Yeah, super fun. So check out that live show. So here we are.
Hardwood
Travis,
Cherry,
Donnie,
guys.
How's it going?
Good. Doing good.
We got you on the show finally. Donnie's back for a second time.
Second time.
Well, Donnie's in 11 bands. We're going to see him. We're going to see him like
actually,
every couple of months. He's going to surface.
Actually, by the end of this podcast, it could go either way. You know, probably fold a couple, be on 3 more.
One of these bands hires him on the way out.
Yeah, no shit.
I might just join the podcast because
hey, why not?
I'm going to be here.
If you're already going to be here.
Well, if you're, I mean, you just be in our band too, I guess.
Yeah, Aaron and Austin and Donnie Show.
There you go.
So we've been working this angle for a little while. If anybody knows, Hardwood Cherry's been around for quite a bit. So Travis, kind of give us this is your baby, isn't it? So give us a little bit of insight. Take us into the Wayback Machine.
Well, I've always liked traditional funk music and rock and alternative, and oh man, there's so much good music out there, and I feel like a lot of it gets overlooked nowadays. And I feel like music in general has kind of been so, I don't know, whitewashed, or it's just it's categorized, and everybody's writing stuff.
It's
to
gone
be safe
down in
and,
importance almost.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like
been
chicken sandwich.
It's been streamlined.
It's the background music to people's lives, and you know, I don't know. It's a different thing than it used to be, but I always had a passion for like the traditional funk music, and I lived in LA for almost 15 years and played a lot of different music out there. But when I came back, I realized there's a big void here for that kind of music, and it was fun, and I think it gets people moving and having a good time. And so I wanted to start some sort of a funk trio, and I guess that's kind of what happened. And we started off playing the classics and up to, I guess, 80s funk and some of the newer stuff like Bruno Mars and whatnot, just to satisfy people's dance
Well, and
cravings.
let's be honest, satisfy shit. Bruno Mars got some funky ass good songs.
No, that's
gotta be fun fucking songs to
but
play.
it didn't like fit into my traditional, like, oh, I want to play traditional funk.
You're talking more like Meters.
Yeah, and Bootsy Collins and
right.
Brothers Johnson.
So how do you...
What about like well, I mean...
How do you look at these 12-piece bands and go, I can do it in 3?
Like Earth, Wind,
You know
and
what I
Fire,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
because we do a lot of...
have a bass.
I don't need that horn section or that keyboard player.
I think I just tried to figure out who's going to do which parts and where you sit, and which melody lines
and which rhythms
from
each part really make the song what they are.
Yeah.
And then do my best to like...
I think you've done a good job of it.
So are you the guitarist?
To be the guy that says
Yeah.
3-piece funk band, that's a hard nut, dude.
Yeah. And you know, I always wanted to end up doing original music. That was kind of always the dream, was to do original music. And it finally got to the point where I'm getting older, you know, nobody's getting any younger.
Yeah, I got a skunk stripe right here, man.
And so I figured
bring it up all the time.
Bro, it's real.
I figured it was time to just go for it, you know. So I started writing a lot of music and just trying to introduce it in our gigs, and it seemed to get a really good reception. Yeah. And it's different from traditional funk, no doubt. It's more of a alternative funk rock, you know. But it's got the makings from the original funk music. Like, it's very much inspired from that. And
you're still doing somewhat like staccato polyrhythms and your
lots of like
thing.
So don't just drop some crazy shit like that don't the people that don't do music know. What is that? What is the staccato jotty in Jennings?
What's layman's term?
Damn it! Yeah. Like, and the thing is I throw something out there, and then he like calls me on it. Like, what the fuck do you mean? You know?
I don't know what that is.
So staccato is that really like quick shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, like so. And then polyrhythms is pretty easy. Okay, so if I'm going 4, like 3, 4, 1, 2.
Okay.
I can put a 3 on it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
And so you mix that with the first part that you were talking about with the
Well, I'm just saying, like, there's
The bass
there's
is doing
different
one thing,
rhythms.
the drums are doing one thing, the
It's
guitar is doing
totally
one.
If you can
opposite.
figure out how to layer these different rhythms, and you keep everything short, succinct, staccato, I'm saying,
Right.
then like you have a pretty good formula for like pulling off some pretty incredible shit. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Okay,
Like,
nice.
Works out in reggae too.
Yeah,
Reggae.
yeah, same.
Yeah. But
Well, I mean, all right. So I will go as far as say roots.
Yeah.
Roots music. You know, and
Okay, explain
that's
what that
that's
means,
what I dig about roots.
Well, explain that to everybody. What do you consider roots music?
Shit, man, you're gonna do this every fucking
The
time.
roots of
Do people want to know? Do people want to know this shit?
Okay.
It's a learning curve.
Yeah,
We're not all musicians.
I get
Like,
it,
guys,
I
you
get
guys
it.
are musicians. We're not. Like, I'm not.
I get it.
Lots of songs have blues elements.
Well-
So blues is the roots of that.
As you just turned it down. Well, I'm saying that like what I see as roots is music that follows kind of traditional formats. There's a lot of 1-4-5 or like, you know what I mean, on the major scale when you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
1 and 8 are octaves, and the 1-4-5 is really your typical blues,
Right.
funk, country, reggae, all of it. Like
Yeah.
So it's a
of
nice
people,
bass. It's a nice bass.
We follow a traditional form, and I call that roots.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense.
Everything's
Thank
based
you.
on
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say, like, you always explain this shit well.
Yeah, but now I forgot where I was.
Oh, sorry. No, you're talking about the roots, bro. The movie.
Yeah, but I think anytime you're dealing with the roots, it's really what you bring to the table. All the chords have been played before.
Yep.
Yeah.
All the patterns of what you're doing, it's all been done. What makes you original is just that. That's what makes you original.
Right,
The
right.
thing that you bring to the table
And
is what sells it.
I think one thing that makes that people overlook a lot, and I think I learned it from playing. Actually, I have a 7-piece country band too.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's,
bet.
it's
Oh,
called
plug in. What's that?
called Native Stone.
All right. Awesome.
And the dynamic is completely different than playing in a 3-piece, right?
I'm sure.
You have to learn where you sit in the mix with
Yeah.
all these different players. And something that funk music does a lot is like if the bass is playing like a G, you know, they're playing in the low register. I need to find my G in a higher register on
Of
the,
course.
you know.
We have to cover our thing. And in a 3-piece, that's very important.
Right,
You know?
and I think it really opens up the music. It lets it breathe,
Yeah.
and music's not just about how many notes and how much sound and racket you can cram
Oh my
into
God,
a small
yes,
space.
right, yes.
It needs to breathe a bit and
space.
develop.
Yeah.
And
I always heard it that if you play the spaces like you play notes, the spaces are never out of tune.
That's
wow.
You know what I
Just
mean?
a fucking
Yeah.
T-shirt.
Like the spaces are never out of place. They're never out of tune.
yep,
That's
Don't be afraid of it.
unfortunate
Right. You know what I
shit
mean?
there.
Right.
Don't be afraid of that shit.
yeah, everything's got to breathe.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't
That's-
just run a million miles and not stop and breathe.
Well, I mean, unless you're a prog rock
Or a yeah, fucking or one of those.
You know,
Dude, one of those.
There are those guys.
One of those race
You do
bands.
your own
I call
shit.
them the bands that are in a race, like the song done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
blast beats.
Done. Guys, it's not a race, guys. From like fucking Scott Pilgrim.
Hey, for some of them, it is a race. Okay?
Yeah, some of those. I mean, that's
and
that's
it's
your
totally
genre.
valid. It's totally valid.
Yeah, do your genre, man.
Just,
Whatever.
you know, it makes me grit my teeth, gives me a headache. I'm kinda,
yeah, most people can't listen to it for a long time.
Well, you feel assaulted.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
And then
I
there's-
feel assaulted.
And
I'm
then
a
what's
pretty
crazy?
mellow
And
guy. I
then
don't
what's
know.
crazy? And then there's the people that can just jam that shit in their car till their fucking ears bleed, man. Some people just, you know, there's something out there for everybody. It's
Yep.
always crazy that
It's true.
You know, some shit that just like you're like,
Yeah,
somebody
my
else
butt
is like, yes. So, are you originally from here in Wichita?
I'm from Ark City, actually.
Really?
Yeah, and when I was a teenager, my wife, who's actually on the cover of the CD.
Nice.
Oh, nice. So, that's nice.
Yeah, oh yeah, good, nice picture. We moved to LA and we pursued our careers out there.
So,
and-
like, what? Like, don't you keep glassing over that? So, you're in Ark City, Kansas.
yeah,
What age do we decide to move to LA? And what is the like?
it was 2005.
What
so
makes
I
you
was-
jump? What makes you jump?
Well, there's not a whole lot of opportunity here as far as like at the time the tech industry was where I was going to, and she was into fashion and fashion design, and
That's
so
all
And that
LA.
feeds both
Yeah.
of your needs.
That's
yeah.
all
I mean,
LA.
that's why I was about to ask if you're in the tech industry, why did you skip?
and also
skip over
music. I
Denver?
wanted to do music
Yeah, for
too,
sure.
but you know, that just fit the bill perfectly.
Nice.
So we just sold everything that we had and loaded up the car. We
And
didn't
made a
have
run for it.
Yeah, we didn't have any place to go when we got there.
Where'd you guys land in California?
We landed in downtown LA, so we were just kitty corner from the Staples Center.
So how long did it take you to get a foothold in there? Because LA is really hard to work.
And it's an expensive town. Even in 2005, that's still an expensive
Well,
town.
I remember being out in LA and like putting job apps in that I didn't hear for 6 months that they even got it.
damn.
You know?
Oh, really?
Like, yeah.
Well, how'd we get a foothold? Well, first of all, for housing, I went to the college and I told them, look, if you don't, I've been staying in hotels for a week and a half, and if we were co-eds or if we were in this situation or that, you would help us. And I kind of don't appreciate the fact that you're not willing to help us.
You guilted them into.
Yeah, I said if you don't, if we don't find a place to live now, I'm taking the tuition, and we're just going to go back, and you guys will be out all that money.
So you had so it sounds like you had a opportunity as far as college to go there.
I pushed my wife towards like following her passion, her dream, and we signed her up for school, which I just kind of threw them under the bus, so I hesitate to tell y'all which one it was.
It's all good.
You don't have to. You can keep that part of it out.
But they totally,
While we guess wildly, University. No.
But they were totally cool. Actually, they were really great people, and they said, you know what, you're right.
You're right. Why would we waste this?
We've already got.
They
this,
were reasonable. It sounded like.
Yes, and they already had a lot of student housing, and they were in a win-win situation because they required me to pay. They said, we'll give you 3 months, but you have to pay all 3 months up front. And you got 3 months to find your own place,
And that works.
And-
but you have to have time.
But it's it's nice in
It's time
anything.
out
It's nice in anything like that. And if you're lucky, if you have a rich family or whatever you have, or a relative or a place where you move, where someone just gives you a little bit of fucking help.
Yeah.
Just so like where you can find a place to stay, and I can get us. I can get through that.
But moving into bigger cities from Wichita, Kansas, I'll tell you it's a faster pace of life.
Well, especially if you're not
And
ready
if you
for
don't
it.
have anybody there to
gonna
latch
end up
onto,
on the
man,
streets,
you're
right?
never going to.
Well, especially if you never
So
visited
hard,
there.
so hard.
Like, did you have any experience with LA
None.
whatsoever?
No.
That's awesome.
No. No, we
Shout
just-
out to make that ballsy move.
Yeah. What part of LA?
We lived in downtown LA, so
Oh,
we were
shit.
right just across.
He said right from the Staples Center.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
I mean, he was right downtown. That's
When
right
we
in
first
Skid Row.
moved
That's
there,
close to Skid Row.
Yeah, it's about 7
Yeah.
blocks.
I lived more like Venice Beach when I lived there. And I only lived there
Oh,
for
yeah.
like 8 months, maybe a year tops.
I was in San Pedro, but not for
I've got to visit Santa Barbara. I had a friend live there, and
Santa Barbara, the home of Earth Day. Because those beaches you can't swim at.
yeah, well, and I've been a few places in California playing sports, but I've never got to really explore it too well. But so 15 years.
Yep.
So what facility? So did you break into the music scene there a little bit?
Man, there isn't.
Very
in
hard.
my opinion, there isn't much of a music scene left there. Just like I don't feel like there's much of a movie industry there.
Well, it's all superficial a bit. I feel
It's
like I'm
fake
just
it till
guessing.
you make it
It's already
crap.
handled.
Yeah, and the movie and TV studios are moving to Canada and every place.
Well, yeah, they're
else.
moving everywhere where the taxes
It's
are hell a lot
cheaper to-
cheaper.
yeah.
I mean, all the comedians already moved to Austin.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan already built a spot and
heard
pretty
that.
much buried the comedian scene.
So
there.
I played a lot, but I mean, was it anything that? I feel like I've made so much more progress here in the Midwest than I
So
ever
what made
did now.
What made you go? Okay, fuck it. We've done here. She probably got through her
School,
schooling,
yeah.
and you lived there long enough. And what made you go? All right, fuck it. Let's go back.
Well, we had a kid, and they raised our rent. See, there wasn't rent control on our.
Oh, shit.
So they would just raise it every time our lease was due.
So you'd have to go into re-signing the lease at a higher price. every
Right,
time.
and you don't have really much of a choice.
Yeah,
can't
because
do
you
it.
don't want to
Yeah.
move in LA. There's not any places easy to
No,
find.
and-
They've got you fucking handcuffed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So by the
every
time-
month they assess the cost of living and
Well, what they're going to do is just
property value
raise that
and-
until you don't pay it, and then when they kick you out, they'll start back to get somebody else in there and do the same shit to them again.
Yeah.
Sort of.
How much is it though?
Well,
Like
by
for
the
a
time we left, we were paying $3,500 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment.
$500 a
That's
month.
a
Like, how did
house.
you-
You can buy a house over
That's a
here.
$300,000 house in this
Yeah.
town. If you don't know, if you're ever trying to get a home loan, for every $100,000 that you spend on a house, it's it's about $1,000 a month, and that's after escrow and everything. For the most part, it's pretty easy to figure out if that's how you do it. But you could have lived in a mansion in this fucking place for that money.
Bro,
Yeah, but I also gained a whole lot of experience out there.
that's
and,
the
Yeah,
truth.
100%.
That's the truth.
And so
100%.
I don't.
You paid for like some worldly experience.
Absolutely,
like 100%.
yeah, and
like you
some
learned shit.
huge education.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you really do, and that shit's worth its weight in gold. Honestly, it really is.
Because that lifestyle is so fast paced, you can learn a lot very quickly.
Yeah, it's
Well, the
you got to
thing is-
survive or die.
Well, yeah, you got to
Well, the
survive.
thing is, in every
Yeah.
giant city, is a ton of people that are not from that city.
Yep.
So you have a ton of cultural and business and artists, introspective, like you get to see a lot of different perspectives.
Yes.
Like when you're from Wichita, I ain't gonna lie, 99% of the people you run into are from this fucking town. There's not a lot of transplants here. Like we don't have a transplant community here in these small towns. Like when you go to even Kansas City, the closest big town, like you're gonna run into 50% of the people that are not from the Kansas City area.
Right.
And so that in tune like just breeds so much more knowledge of the world when you have
Well,
that
and culture, period.
yeah, just
Yeah.
culture, just integration of other people's ideas
food
helps a
was
ton.
amazing.
And the food, yeah, like
bro.
all the big hubs, the food's great. Like Kansas City. even.
You can get any food you want.
Yeah. And the seafood, fresh.
Well, it's right. The
amazing.
ocean's
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
Oh, they had this
I've
killer
always that's my
place.
dream is to like even I love seafood so much. It'd be nice to live next to the sea somewhere.
I didn't like seafood until I moved to Hawaii,
Oh, really?
and then it was fresh seafood every
It
day,
ta-
all day.
It tastes different. It's sweeter.
It was
Yeah.
when
Oh,
it's
my God.
when it doesn't have to travel on the ice all the way across.
And then you go.
So you got
oh, I
good. You
get
got
it.
it good
Yeah.
in California. Huh?
Oh, everything.
I'm sure, yeah.
Everything was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
So you moved back.
Yep.
You had a kid and moved back.
Yep. And as soon as I got back, I got the bug for playing, and
Well, you had the bug.
yeah.
Or
I
you
know.
always had it.
You always have it, but I couldn't stand not being in a band, and
Because you've probably spent a pretty big amount of time not playing.
pretty much most of my life I've been playing. And then when I left, like as soon as you stop gigging, there's like this emotional void that needs filled. And as a musician, I think that's something, whether people realize it going into it or not, they come to realize it, is you got to determine who you're doing this for and why and what your expectations are. But regardless, there's a void that you feel that you need to. It's like an addiction almost. You want to play those shows, and at some point you realize that you end up where you started out, and very few people are remembered, and very few people ever get to play stadiums. And so you've got to be happy playing those little bars, and then the casinos,
be
and
happy
whatever
playing.
you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to be
Playing.
happy playing.
You're happy in your lane. If you,
Yeah.
and if you get lucky and catch a break and get bigger, you go with that. You
Yeah.
ride the waves, and but just be happy if you're making your art,
Yeah.
and if you're affording it in some way, shape, or form.
I think it gets down to like, I don't do this for anybody else but me, but I really appreciate it when people get it.
Oh yeah.
Right.
You know,
Oh yeah.
when people understand
Yeah.
what I'm putting out there, I really appreciate that. But like, I don't need your approval.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
You know,
artists
like-
are some of the most like I don't know if emotional is the right word, but a lot of us suffer from terrible depression at some point
And
or
imposter
another.
syndrome.
There's the
And all
biggest one.
sorts of things.
That's the one I was waiting for. I knew you were
And-
going to say it. The
It's-
imposter
there's-
syndrome's a tough
there's
one.
a lot of it.
You and then you sit down and you go, is any of this worth doing?
Well,
Why
no,
am I doing this?
You
And then
sit there
I
at some
get past
point.
it pretty quick. I go, fuck it. I like it.
You sit there at some point, and you're like, man, I've made $300 in 6 weeks.
Yeah. Well,
You're like,
can I borrow 500?
fuck. You're like, apparently what I'm doing isn't hitting. Nothing I'm doing is working. Should I hang it up? Should I hang it up and go work at fucking Wendy's? I mean, is that what I need to do?
I said don't
Is that
be
what has to
stingy
happen?
on your claps because are we
getting a discount on fucking senior bacon cheeseburgers? Or
Yeah,
what?
that's something free they can give you, and it goes
some
a long
musicians
way.
don't get paid, but the
Oh, yeah.
clap really
Or the
gives
share
it-
and
yeah.
the like?
Yeah,
Right.
Like
Oh
a
yeah.
share.
Nowadays though,
With a
but
thumbs
people
up.
are so
I hate that.
inundated.
I hate that fucking hatred on people that just like shouldn't like the shit.
Right.
Come on. It is literally nothing. You're sitting on the toilet anyway, scrolling and sharing like the shit.
Oh man! Every
Have a
time,
purpose.
every time I release, I ask people, "Look, when I was a kid and I found a CD that was just fucking killer, man, I shared it with everybody. I was so
Dude, I would
thrilled.
throw
I
it
would
at
jam
people.
it in the fucking
Dude, I would
car.
throw a
I
fucking
was
CD at
listening
you.
all the time. Like it was a social experience.
Well, back when you and I were around, we would just go.
You're still around.
We'd be dirt roading it around Winfield or something.
Yep.
And just sharing tunes.
Yep.
That's
Have
it.
you heard
You know what I
this?
mean?
Cassette.
I don't know any
Oh,
Sharon's.
check this out. Check
Who's
this
Sharon's tunes?
We have mixtape. We have mixtape of our
Yes.
favorite bands.
So you come back. So when do you come back? What time? Like what year are we when we get back to? And do you come back to Wichita? Or do you go back to
Arc City.
Because it's probably where your family's from. So you go back there.
Yeah,
So-
it was halfway through 2017, I think.
So then you start up a band and you're doing some cover doing funk. And when do you
Started up
3 bands?
Yeah.
So, but for Hardwood Cherry, when does that start? Does that start pretty much then when you get back?
Yeah, Mother Kelly. I actually got recruited into Mother Kelly first, and I was playing with a group called the Cedarville All Stars, a bunch of guys from Cedarville, and they kind of brought me in. That's where I met our bass player CJ, and I told him, dude, we've got to play some funk music.
So CJ's the third member of Hardwood Cherry.
Yeah,
bass player.
He's sick today. Otherwise, he wanted to be here, but he didn't want to come and bring COVID to everybody.
Well, thanks for that, CJ.
Thanks for that, buddy.
See, and we'll get this. We'll run this back, CJ. We'll let you in again.
Oh yeah.
We'll see.
We should Zoom him while he's all sick and fucked up. Just like,
Yeah, should we call him and be like, dude, CJ, what's going on?
You can, dude. It's a fucking podcast. Call him. Call him if he wants to be. If he wanted to be a part of it, give him a fucking call. I don't give a shit. What the hell else are we doing here?
But when you're playing funk, bass line is bass player.
The bass line's a huge thing.
So when you start Hardwood Cherry, did you start with CJ? So you and
I did.
CJ have been a part of that band this whole entire time, and you just fumble fuck your way
Yeah,
through
man,
drummers.
I had this all down on paper. I was like, I've got a name, I've
You
got
wrote
a
it,
plan,
you got
I've
it.
got this like
Nice.
idea.
Well,
you know?
you've got merch, you've got the hat. I mean, he's rolling the hat, the jacket. He's got the CD with him. And guys, you can check out. I subscribed to their YouTube channel today. You can check out their YouTube channel at Hardwood Cherry.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty
and,
good
and they
stuff.
got original music. That's my favorite thing. I love to see a band that's making money in the cover industry
Oh,
try
we
to.
got CJ.
Yeah, we're not there. It's still ringing.
Hello.
Hello, CJ, you're on the Aaron and Austin show.
Hey, we're calling you, buddy.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, brother?
We thought we'd give you a call because we heard that you were sick today and you wanted to be on, so we figured we'd call you.
Thank you for not bringing us
Oh.
COVID.
Yeah, I definitely didn't want to bring this shit for you guys.
Hey, but we wanted to talk to you anyway, man. So
Yeah, we're sitting here grilling Travis on the start of it, and we're at the spot where you guys started Hardwood Cherry.
that and
when
you're
you
the
got
bass
back.
player. She's the most important member of the band, really.
Well, until you find a
Oh, there-
keyboardist.
Fuck you. God damn it. It's never going to end.
with the left hand.
That Southpaw keyboardist boy is a hard one to find. But yeah, we wanted to shout out to you, man. Thanks for. I know you wanted to be here today, but thanks for.
Not spreading.
Thanks for not getting us sick and lending us your other two bandmates. So
CJ,
Yeah,
man,
no problem at all.
what do you want to tell these guys?
What do I want to tell who? Hardwood Cherry or Aaron Austin?
No, tell
Aaron, you can
Hardwood
tell the
Cherry.
whole show. You can tell everybody. We'll give you a few minutes.
You got a mic for a minute.
Okay. Well, as far as the Hardwood guys, I love these guys to death. And can't wait to be playing more shows with them. And they're a couple of great guys, and I'm glad we're playing together.
Oh, yeah. You guys sound great together.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. And I mean, these guys make me a better musician every time we play together.
Well, and Donnie was saying about the bass being kind of a really crucial part of funk.
It really is.
How do you approach that?
I don't know. It's kind of something that just happens. Like I try not to analyze it too terribly much. I mean, it's all about feel.
Right. Yeah, well, you just said it. Play the feel.
Yeah.
Don't try to throw 12 notes into one measure, right? Just because you want to. Just because that would be cooler. More notes.
Are you a mic'd bassist that sings too in the band?
Yes.
The question is, if it's yes, is it a yes?
Oh yeah, he sings.
So as you get drunker throughout the night, do you start to take over? That's what Aaron does. It's funny.
No, it's not. Fucking lying,
I'll
bastard.
let CJ answer, but really, honestly, the guy, we don't tend to get too trash during shows. Only very,
I know,
very
but I
rarely.
just like to make fun of Aaron.
Yeah.
But yeah, we always like to see the bassists get more comfortable as the night goes on, start singing more and more through each song. Like they slowly get more comfortable. These are Aaron, this is Aaron's
That's how it
joke.
goes.
I've been writing this joke for Aaron, but
And to be fair, I have taken over the show, but only when I had to.
yeah. So yeah, we'll since we have all these live capabilities now, when you're feeling better, somewhere down the road pretty soon. If you guys got a show coming up and we're up here fucking around, well, you guys come in and we'll shoot the shit for a little bit. Thanks for coming on the show for a sec, and thanks for not dragging your sickness into.
I heard Austin cough, so I think you might have already gave him COVID over
through
the
the phone.
phone. Now.
Jesus.
I don't know.
Yep,
Through
I'm
the
sending
mic.
it to you through the phone, man.
Yeah, I don't smoke.
Jesus,
I
here
never
we go.
smoke in the parking lot of the studio. I promise.
Never happened.
CJ, man, get better, buddy.
CJ, brother, love you. Get better.
We love you, brother.
You guys have a good night.
Thanks for joining the show. Brilliant idea. We can do that
Hey,
more.
that actually turned out well.
I know. I can hear
through
it.
the mic. That was okay.
I can hear it. Yeah.
Well,
John, how was that for you?
Oh, it was real good for John.
Oh shit! I got
Yeah, it sounded good. Huh? I thought-
John, how was that for you?
How do you feel about that?
the motherfucker that turned it down.
I don't know if he's still talking, but it's already back down. So you're wasting your breath. So we started.
I would have turned him down too.
Yeah, I did 9 and 10. 9 and 10. I'm out, dude. I'm out.
You don't
I love
look
you,
up
John. I love you,
anymore
John.
whenever he
So
talks.
You have to look down.
CJ's the original. CJ and you are the original members, and we're rolling with Donnie now.
Yep.
But we've released a new song 4 months ago. Was the newest song? I was looking on the YouTube page.
How many months ago?
It was like
now?
2 or 3 months ago.
2 months ago, I think.
2 months ago.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks. Yeah, I was doing one every month.
Well,
Yeah,
it's not
smart,
a bad. It's not a
smart.
bad releasing. I've seen a lot of artists do this. It's
Good
kind of
strategy.
it's kind of the industry norm.
Called the waterfall release
it's-
schedule.
I think it's well. It all depends on. To me, I think there's some people that overdo it, and this is just my 2 cents. And what the fuck do I know? I'm not anybody in the industry, but I think like say you have an 8-song album. I think let's like waterfall release for 2 or 3 weeks, and then let's drop the whole album. Like it gets a little bit carried on to some of them.
I think it depends on what you're trying to do, because nowadays, if you want your album to count for something or chart, then you have to gain momentum before
Yes.
the actual release date.
Yeah, and you have to repopulate it back to the top of the fucking timeline every time you release a new song. That's
I wonder.
that's the trick. The trick is because when you release a new song, every time it puts you back in the relevant top of the pops.
Right.
So like it rolls you back to the top of the algorithm every time you release the new song. So you can, but like if you got 8 songs and you roll me through 8 or 16 weeks, you do one every other week, it's a little fucking annoying. Like I feel like it's almost like let's roll our way through half of the songs or a certain amount of them and then release the album. I don't know. I don't know what's right.
Well, the other, you had something to say.
Yeah,
I kind of
go
want to
check
hear
that.
it.
So I think what you do is you lead up to the album release with reviews and teasers.
Right.
Okay.
Right? You lead up to that with that, and then once your album drops, hopefully you're selling big numbers, and then you do what you're talking about. Waterfall release after that, videos for these songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's what
now
we're working
that picks
on
us
next,
back
actually.
up on the algorithm, so that when
And you guys have
people
a
look,
video. You guys have a video for one of your songs.
when the people look at the longevity of this campaign, it goes 10 weeks in.
Right.
Well, and again, like you said, it keeps repopulating.
John, I got to have you to mute your mic. We're hearing all that music.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, guys, put your 9s and 10s on 0,
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
just so we're not pulling in all the
Because it is
music
kinda
from
loud.
downstairs.
Yeah, I mean, we're still going to get a little bit of it, but it's not going to be
No,
in the
no, it's not
recording.
gonna-
That's
no,
what,
it all
I needed just not to be in the recording.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it's actually not too bad now that we.
Not bad. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, one of the problems I think with the way we consume music nowadays, I could sit and bitch about that for
yeah,
hours.
me too.
That's all right.
But
I kind of like it. I'm not going to lie.
one of the things,
There's pros and cons.
oh God, if you're a musician, that's nothing but awful.
Well, yes.
And
Yes.
I'll
It's
tell
not
you,
good. Yeah, it's not
the attention span that people have is so short, and their expectation is so high. And like you said, it's mass produced. It's relegated to background music. It's the McChicken sandwich of today. And when you release 2 or 3 songs and you drop your album, unless you're an established band, and even if you are, then 2 months later, people are like, when are they coming out with their next album?
Yeah.
Well, shit.
come on.
I had to write
Perform.
these songs and arrange them and produce
Well,
them
the thing
and
is,
record them.
I think that the hip hop community is what has put the pressure on the rest of the music.
I disagree.
Hip hop comes out with new content so quickly
But
that everybody turns that over and goes, "Why isn't your band releasing another
Okay,
6 songs
there is that,
this
there is
year?"
that.
So literally hip hop doesn't have, most of the time it's 1 or 2 entities and it's not a full band that they have to keep together. It's usually one person needs
It's
a producer.
tracks that they're buying from. their
Exactly.
producers.
So
right.
I'm not going to blame my favorite type of music because I love hip hop, but I think that put
I love hip hop too.
hip hop
but
has
it's
put the pressure.
It's a totally different thing.
It's a totally different thing.
It's a completely unfair pressure, but it has put the pressure on every single other genre because they can produce
Apples
albums.
have never pressured oranges to do shit. I'm just saying,
Bullshit.
Like,
Bullshit.
It has to. We have to understand what is what.
Well, they
You know,
want
and
new
I do
content.
think- I do
they
think
want
that
new content from you weekly.
I want new content too, but
Yeah.
we can vary that up. Okay, like my band, I don't feel pressure to release bullshit just because I got to be on a time schedule. I don't do that. I play music
Fair
for
enough.
me. I'm not really giving it
Fair enough.
out like that.
But I think it
that's
puts
not what
pressure
I'm
on
doing.
original content
But-
writers to try to rush.
I think it puts pressure on original content writers to release content. I ain't talking about an album. I'm not talking about a fucking song every week. I'm talking about
You can do
how
content,
do you
yeah.
do content?
Fair enough.
Right.
And how do we reimagine this
He's
game
not
a
wrong.
little bit?
He's not
Yeah.
wrong here at all.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Okay, so some of my favorite bands are like, here we are on tour.
So I can say we can almost fill the gap. Let's fill the gap with content.
That is how it's happening.
That's what you're saying. Fill the
That's
gap
how
with
it's
content.
happening.
You fill the gap with content of your live, your photos, your.
I'm not
everything.
gonna give you a fucking bullshit song because this is what I could do in 4 days.
Okay, so I have three really
And
talented.
I have to hit this
I have
thing.
three really talented musicians here. So and all of you guys are in original writing bands. So if you guys release, let's say, not an LP, an album, what is a reasonable expectation of your fan base to when you would be ready to release another album?
Okay, so I say, I hate to pop in on this. I don't mean to cut you guys off, but I go a 12-song record a year. That's one a month.
Is that reasonable?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
I think
there's
so.
very few
12-song
bands that
record a
adhere
year.
to that fucking matrix.
That's true.
Yeah.
I've got three. Like I wrote over 30 songs this year, and released them across 3 bands.
Well, that's badass.
All 30?
What do you mean?
Well, you wrote
you released every song you wrote?
Well, they're all on the albums. And some of them have come out as singles, and some of them are waiting for the album, but they're all recorded, and they're ready to be released.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Nice. So what do you guys think? So he says, 12. You know, if you can write a song a month, you're doing pretty good. What do you guys think as far as
That's
releasing content? That's a nice
good
pace.
Because when people release a full album, they would only listen to two or three music out of that album, and they neglect the rest of the music.
It's true.
Which is
There's
bad
B-sides
because
on every
yeah.
record.
Yeah.
That's my only.
Well, sometimes
thing with that.
sometimes if and I will say that happens when musicians or bands or acts fill those 8 slots with fluff
Right.
to make an album. And I will go back to even blaming the hip hop community for this. You would get hip hop albums that were 22 songs. There's only 8 fucking songs on the whole album. Some shit with the interludes and all kinds of dumbass
Yeah,
shit.
right.
So
Morgan Wallen just released one with 30 on it. He's a country guy, I guess.
30
I think
on his album?
It's broke. I don't look. I'm not going to criticize everybody, but I'm more the
we can criticize a little bit. We can have constructive criticism. To me, if you have 30 songs, that's 3 fucking albums worth of work. Why would you release it in one album?
And
we can fucking say that.
that's
Fuck them. That seems stupid to do that.
I've always been against the whole idea of filler too. Like, if you don't like this song, why are you putting it on the album?
Exactly.
Why put
Or if
30
it doesn't
songs?
make a congruent album, everything is kind of in this vibe.
Right.
This is an album.
Yeah,
know?
each album is somewhat of a story that you tell. Somewhat. It doesn't have to be some linear fucking path we're on.
It doesn't always have to be like Operation Mindcrime.
Yes, it doesn't. But it all is kind of in the same vibe for the most part.
Well,
Yeah,
it's a
I think.
snapshot of where the artists are in this point in time in their career,
Perfectly
and what
said.
they're
Thank you,
listening
Travis.
to,
Thank
and
you.
what they're playing, and what what they're emotionally kind of expressing. I think. And I think a song a month is reasonable. But
I
then
think that's
again,
fine.
I never subscribe to a timeline. Like, I'll have the damn thing done in a year probably anyway.
Man,
it comes out, you know?
This is my comfortability speaking. Okay, this is all it is. It's my comfortability speaking. I see spring tour going into summer tour.
Yeah.
And then I take a fucking break.
Take
and
a
like
break.
over the winter holidays, I don't want
Write
to
some
travel.
music, right.
So I'd rather sit and write.
Who wants to
record,
travel for the
do
next
this.
2 months right now?
I'm just saying, yeah.
I'll play music for anybody that wants to hire us. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't ski. I don't
too.
ski. I don't really care about snow.
We'll come
You know what I mean? Like, I don't wanna
podcast
do it.
at those events if you're willing to
There
pay
you
us.
go.
But to me, like, you don't want to. I mean,
Did you listen to JNR's Use Your Illusion 1 and 2?
Oh yeah,
But it's
fuck
good,
yeah, I did.
good
Those are my
content,
boys.
It's
Like,
really good content.
I loved Guns N' Roses back in the day.
but
That's
to me, so like,
exception to the rule.
I'll use as a local experience. We have a group that everybody's excited about around here is called Time and Space,
Yeah,
and they have
love 'em.
40 fucking albums. They have 40 fucking songs. Like, it
Haven't
would be
released
It would
shit.
just be, and they haven't released much. Adrian and Ian, but we're working
Looking
on
at
that.
you.
But like, it would be a crime against humanity to come out with an album of 40 fucking songs on it. The first one.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don't burn it like that.
No.
Come on.
And some of them you need to rework and do all things with. You know,
Right.
You test them and shit.
Make a progression.
So how was it? I want to know to you as a writer. This is a question I've been waiting to really hit on. How was it for you as transitioning from a cover funk band with some talent into original music? Like, what was your process on, like, especially since you've built up you've been doing the Hardwood Cherry thing, so you built up a fan base, and you don't have to transition your fan base into not cover music. We're doing our own thing. Like, how did that go for you?
I took him to Kirby's the first time, and he went back the next day.
Yeah.
It's a different.
Shout out to Kirby's, former sponsor of this show. We love them.
Well,
Tip your bands.
Do you mean as far as my writing process,
Yeah,
or
like,
how did
both.
it?
All of the-
what were the results, or?
Well, like, how did you? I know you were always. You said you were always going to wanted to do original music. I heard you say that.
Yeah,
So you always. So when did you pull the string? Like, when do you go? All right, I'm already, because it sounds like you're making money doing cover music.
Yeah.
So when do you go? Fuck this! I'm pulling the string, and let's do our original.
Well, it was something I'd been tossing around since the very formation of all three bands. Mother Kelly, whenever I was brought in, I was like, we should be doing originals. And kind of
God bless you, sir.
Yes.
with
you
that,
should.
man, like they were an established band, a lot of older members. Our drummer passed away, and it was hard to hold that together. Me and the guitar player are the only ones left that were original. Now CJ and Donnie are both playing in that band as well. So it's a really good dynamic because we're really used to playing with it, but it's a totally different type of music. But from
That's kind of cool. I love when bands that are in the same bands together, like, we get to do this in this band, and this band we do some other shit.
Oh, yeah.
And,
That's fun. And you get to do that too. It's fun to watch you do that too as well.
And you don't feel like you're pressured to release it under one thing, because you've got this other creative
Well,
outlet.
it gives you all
But
your outlets.
I think it was something that everybody that I talked to about the band when I proposed the projects should have been aware of. And sometimes it went well with some members, sometimes it didn't. And if it didn't, then,
See ya.
That's okay, though. That's okay.
Because you gotta-
I need to know if the chemistry is right, and if
Right.
it isn't,
Well,
that's okay.
I need to know if you want to actually transition into, for me, and I don't want to say this, I don't want this to come out front, into real musicianship to me is when you're really writing your own shit.
Yeah.
Like, you get taught all these things, you learn all these cover songs, you learn how to play, you learn from the greats and all this shit, but when you're really doing something original, to me, now we're really doing something.
Yeah, and some people see it as a huge risk, but to me, it's a bad decision. It's riskier not to do it because you're going to end up in the same place anyway. You
And
can
if that's not
always
your
go back
light,
to
and if
playing
that's not your
covers.
light, that's fine. But if that's in you, do it.
Oh, that's all.
I tell all the cover bands that write their own shit, dude, cross over. And that's why I'm asking you, like, how you made that work, because some of them I've talked to that have their own music are having trouble, like, integrating that into their sets and trying to, like, do that.
Well,
coming from a cover band background, I'll tell you cap out at $2,500 a night.
yeah, that's about as much as I've ever made doing covers.
And if you're in an original band, we all know
You can make $6 or
come on, man. No.
Yeah.
If you're in an original band, you're going to suffer through these nights of $300, $250, whatever it is. Like, but the potential
is so much
is
greater.
millions.
I think it's just more fulfilling you as an artist. I just
That's what I'm saying. That's where I'm really
I could
at.
just not see myself.
I love you
trying
guys,
to-
but I do this for me.
Yeah, at the very end of the day, it is a
That's
little
what
bit
I mean.
of we're at the very end of the
love
day,
you.
we are stroking our own ego. a little bit
but
here.
at the same
I'm
time,
saying if I'm not
it's true.
playing
It's
music that
different.
hits me, I'm not playing music.
Yeah, if I'm not
Right.
happy doing an art, why the fuck would anybody else be happy?
Well,
I'm
you
not
know,
doing it.
I
Listening
think
to
it's
it.
just like a painter. You're painting it for the beauty of the painting and for the creative process. I don't really write I'm not the one writing the music. It's some sort of, like, whether you believe in God or some greater power,
Yeah,
some
we're just
universal
there is
shit.
some
like,
sort. There is a thing that we are the vessels for ideas.
It's like a seed
Like human
gets
beings are just
delivered, and
vessels
I
for
just
ideas.
garden it into some sort of
Yeah.
a finished product. And so, but I think the saddest thing of all is when you create amazing art and there's nobody not around to see it because you're surrounded by millions of people, billions.
Right.
There's more people now than there ever has been.
Yeah.
No one willing to stop and look and appreciate something beautiful. And I think that's probably the saddest, most depressing thing about being an artist of any kind is when someone.
That's the tortured part of it. So much great shit is missed. And the thing is, with every person's gifts and what they see and what they not, like Aaron will see, or you will see, or I will see, so a bunch of different beautiful things, and one thing that you missed that I missed of all of those different aspects. It's so weird how we all take in those things.
Fan base is really big deal for, like, writing your original stuff, because if you don't have a fan base,
Did you just
no one will
drop
know.
one on me?
Yeah, it's important to
You're
try to
invisible,
build that fan
invisible
base.
to everyone if you don't have a fan base.
Yeah.
No one will show up to your gigs.
Well, and that's what helps keep the creative process rolling. Is you need a little help from your fan base.
Yep.
And you said something earlier that I totally identify with. It's like I was in LA, but I came over here, and all of a sudden, shit started working.
Right.
Well, there's a thing that I call it's the fish phenomenon. You know what I mean? Are we going to be a little fish in a big pond like LA, or am I going to be a big fish that survived in LA? Come over here back to Wichita.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, my little fish ass over there is the big fish in this pond.
Right.
Or
You
at
know
least
what I
a more
mean?
experienced fish.
Well,
for
right.
sure.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
A big fish in a little pond makes more waves, I think.
Well, and I think it helps to like integrate great shit into all aspects and areas of the country. We need these small pockets that are behind on shit to catch
now,
up.
and now with the internet and the social media being the way it is,
100.
we can do it.
Yeah.
We can do it from our
Speed
couch.
degree, baby. Speed degree,
You know?
baby. Speed
Now,
degree.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So integrating a new lingo into Wichita, I learned it from a podcast from
Speed degree.
So if you're like, how many times have you been talking to someone and like not on a podcast, but like they're instantly what they say, the first thing they present, you're all in, and like they don't need to go any further. So you're just like speed degree. You
Well,
we're good. You don't have to go any
kid-
further.
The kids nowadays go, say less.
Same thing. So
Say less.
I stole this from Pete Holmes, and Zach Braff stole it from him. So, but speed agree's fucking funny. Like you don't have to show me any more of that video. I speed agree, bro. You're right. We're in it. We're in
Speed
it.
degree.
So, where can we find all of Hardwood Cherry's social media? And where can we find all of your stuff? I already subscribed. They have
Give us your home address, social security.
Yeah. We would love to know what your first pet name is and what
that's
your
right.
maiden name is.
What your mother's
My
maiden
first
name
car.
might be.
Where I went to high school.
Well,
That's right, the street you grew up on.
Any of those questions that will help us
Kinks.
pass the security.
Do you like butt stuff?
You got an OnlyFans? I mean, let's go.
Oh man, that's why I did music. My OnlyFans wasn't making it.
Yeah. I got only haters, man. Basically,
Right,
I send nudes to your inbox until you give me $15 a month to stop. That's what I do. Yeah.
Yeah, you can find us online. We're on all the social networks.
Yeah, they're on Facebook for sure.
Excellent.
And we're on all the streaming platforms, so you can look for Hardwood Cherry. If you want to check out some hard rock from the same group of guys, check out Mother Kelly.
Mother Kelly.
And then if you want,
And we also have Native Stone.
Yeah.
So let's do a quick few minutes on. So we got Hardwood Cherry.
Yeah.
So we got what's the sound of Mother Kelly and what's the sound of Native Stone? Give those bands a few plug.
Right.
You know,
So
give
Native Stone is like classic country meets 90s country. If I had to,
a little outlawish or
Do you
is
have a
it-
pedal steel player?
yeah. we
I
do.
love it.
A
All right,
sitar?
I love it.
A
Hall
sitar?
of Hall of
I love
Famer.
that.
A
Yeah,
sitar.
he's a and a
I love
badass
those
guitar
sitar.
player.
Those
too, by the
sitar
way.
players are
Sitar.
amazing.
He's amazing. Yeah.
It
Kurt
does.
Graber is our
Oh,
steel
shit.
guitar.
I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
he's a badass.
Yeah, there's like 8 dudes that play those instruments.
And he's pretty amazing.
Beauty's
And then
Mike.
Mother Kelly is more like it's traditional hard rock. It's not like metal.
So it's more like Black Sabbath, kind of like traditional hard rock.
yeah.
Bet.
Nice.
I love that.
So do you sing in Mother Kelly as well?
I sing in all three.
All 3. So look out for Travis singing in all 3.
And I
of these
don't
things.
auto tune, so if you hear something, that's just because that's the way shit is.
Because that's how the human voice works.
And if you come see a show, you'll hear exactly what you hear on the album.
So can we?
Goddamn
So
right.
we can. So can we find original content from all 3 of these bands on our social media platforms and on our streaming platforms for music?
Yes.
So check out Native Stone, check out Mother Kelly, and check out Hardwood Cherry. All of them have their original music that Travis is involved. He's the lead singer and plays on all of these bands. Donnie will probably be in all these bands before the end of the.
Donnie's in every band anyway.
Oh, hell, well,
Donnie just is
might
in my
bring him
band. We
into-
started a band. We actually started a band during this show, and Donnie's in it.
Yep.
I have
Should
2
we play
bands.
some
Come to
country
find
music?
out, he's
Yeah.
our drummer.
Right.
I didn't even
So
know that.
make sure you support everything local music. Get with all 3 of those bands that like, and I'd love to see you producing bands on 3 different genre levels.
go.
That's a beautiful thing, Travis.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm going to just give you a quick shout out. That is cool to me. I know, and I'm not going to shit in anybody's Kool-Aid, but I know a ton of artists that are doing a bunch of shit and they got original song on any platform, and that you have 3 different bands that with different styles of music that you're producing original content for me is awe-inspiring. So
Awesome.
So keep up the hard fucking work.
Got it.
Check out those 3 bands, guys. Get with everything Aaron Austin show. We're gonna go downstairs and enjoy a show.
Hell yeah.
So
Thank you guys
Donnie,
for having
thanks
us.
for coming in.
Go
Thank
team.
The Aaron and Austin Show is brought to you by Wichita by EB, Sacred Leaf, PK Pest Management, and JEllis Kitchen.
And Donnie Show.